Good morning, friends. It's your friend Lee McCormack. Just woke up. Hey, I was falling asleep last night, right? And kind of in that middle zone, and this came to me, and it was really impactful to me. So I want to see if I can express it to you guys, see if it's useful to you. Imagine you're a dude. By most measures, you're a successful dude. You did good in school. That was easy. You kind of reached the top of 2 separate careers. Were very successful building things for other people. And then you decide to do your own thing. And 20 years in, you run 2 companies, soon 3. You've written, let's say, 11 books with the 12th on the way. You are an accomplished athlete who's won big thing that you really wanted to win. You are a leader, you know, and maybe a role model in your community, the community you've chosen. So like that's all pretty rad, and you have a lot of drive around that, and you're like, yeah, I'm this successful because I'm a badass. I'm a badass because I'm so disciplined. I keep my eye on the fucking prize, and I go and I work and I work, and that's kind of your approach to life. But what you're not really admitting to yourself is that, you're in a really horribly abusive marriage, and you've been in one a long time. And that you are highly depressed. That your sense of self-worth has diminished greatly. You're living, you know, you've considered not being a person anymore. You're living that life of quiet desperation, right? And you're really in the hole. No one knows, but you know, right? Deep down inside. And that work, you know, is all that keeps you going. And again, you have this belief that like, I'm disciplined. I'm a hardcore mofo, and I'm doing stuff, and I'm hardcore like that. All right, well, good. So, you know, all of the bad things in your life begin to unravel you, and you get to the point where you're reduced to more or less nothing. And you realize that. And you see, holy cow, I've like lost my psyche. I've lost myself. And then, you know, your whole life has been taking complicated big things, concepts, skills, and breaking them into little pieces and building from the ground up. So you decide you need to do that for yourself. So over the course of years, you begin to rebuild your psyche. You begin to rebuild your psyche. You begin to get to the point where you realize not only do you not deserve abuse, but you actually deserve happiness. And you start to build, and you finally make the big move. Terrifying, but you do it, and you get out of there, and you start to rebuild. And as you free yourself from that burden, and as you start to release some of the limiting beliefs and some of the bullshit, honestly, that's been running your life, you begin to tap into like a real sense of self. You begin to really love yourself. You begin to actually see yourself in a real, honest, complete way. And then from that, you're able to see other people, and your interactions with people start to change. And your work, you've always been, let's say, a really good bike coach, it gets better, it gets deeper, it gets more impactful, and you start to feel like you're part of everything, and you start to feel a lot of power coming through you, like you're a channel, and from that strength, from that presence, you regain. You attract love, and you find yourself partnered with the most extraordinary person you've ever known, who happens to be a beautiful woman. Thank goodness. That's convenient. And you start to like really dig in and start to build a life, and you're content. And at the same time, the businesses are growing, and you feel very creative, and there's a lot to do, but you don't have that fire anymore. You don't have that desire to freaking kick ass, and like you're very, very happy to like linger at Target with her, or just sit on the porch, and you're just happy, and you've never been happy just being before, and it's freaking wonderful. But you see that your work is trying to kind of like ebb a little bit. You start to realize, all you had before was your work. That's all you had, dude. Like, that's it. Without that, you wouldn't have existed. Thank God for that work that I had and that sense of purpose it gave me. But you start to realize that you don't need the work for purpose. You already have it. And that you don't need to produce the way you've been producing because you're good as you are. And there's a little bit of like a lull there, right? And as you start to really consider like what you're doing and why, right? And your mission starts to really solidify. You realize, you know what I do for work, what I do for a living is beautiful and powerful and helpful to other people. And you decide, I'm going to put my head back into this. I'm leaning back into this. But the difference is, I'm not leaning into it because I have to, because I have nothing else. I'm leaning into it because, well, it's my purpose. And it makes me happy. It makes me happy to create, express, and serve the way I do. Here we are. I feel like this is like Lee Likes Bikes V2. 20 years now. It's been 20 years of this. And I'm 53. I'm Lee McCormack V whatever, and we'll call it V4. It's a cool feeling, man, to be able to create and express not from a place of deficiency and need, but from a place of abundance and want. And so I expect some very, very beautiful things to come from this. I hope this is useful to you. It's useful for me just to say it. And I wish you all a beautiful namastoke and be well.